Woodpit disaster. The Woodpit disaster was a mining accident on 7 June 1878, when an underground gas explosion occurred at the Woodpit in Haydock, then in the historic county of Lancashire, in northwest England. The official death toll was 189, although contemporary reports at first stated that over 200 had been killed. Background: the Woodpit was one of at least 20 collieries in the area operated by the mining company Haydock Collieries. It consisted of the Ravenshead mine and the Florida mine, which were linked by a tunnel. The pit had been sunk in 1866. There had been at least 2 previous major explosions in the area, claiming 26 lives in April 1869 and 58 in December of the same year. The pit had a chronic problem with fire damp, and as a precaution, explosives were never used, with miners relying on picks to manually extract the coal. In addition, workers were equipped with specially designed safety lamps to prevent accidental ignition of gas. Most of the mine workers were from Haydock, although some came from the neighboring towns of Ashton in Macclesfield, Earlstown, and Newton-le-Willows. Many of the drawers, who carried the coal from the mine, were subcontracted, meaning that their names did not appear on the company's list of employees. Explosion. On the morning of Friday, 7 June, approximately 250 men were working in the pit, 18 in the Ravenshead mine and the rest in the Florida mine. The explosion occurred at 11 am in the Florida mine and was accompanied by a collapse of the coal face. The workers in the Ravenshead mine were successfully evacuated, but in the Florida mine there were no initial reports of survivors. Large crowds gathered at the pit head as rescue workers searched the mine and recovered the bodies. The bodies that were brought to the surface were reported to be shockingly mutilated by the force of the explosion. On 8 June, the Chief Inspector of Mines, Joseph Dickinson, reported to the Home Secretary R.A. Cross that he had joined the explorers in the mine, but that attempts to recover the bodies or locate survivors were being hampered by the continued presence of gas and the failure of the ventilation apparatus. The best explanation of the presence of gas appeared to be that it had escaped from a notoriously dangerous coal seam deeper down the mine known as the Fiery Nynift, but the reason for the ignition was never found. Aftermath. On Sunday, 9 July, Whitsunday, the local Anglican priest Henry Sherlock, having spent the previous day visiting the bereaved families, was visibly distressed as he preached at St. James the Great Church, using as his text John 14:18, "I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you." By 10 July, it was tentatively reported that there had been 108. Many families suffered multiple bereavements. The Boone family lost 8 members, including Nathan Boone and his 4 sons. A fund-raising campaign organized by Lord Derby raised £25,000 for the widows and orphans. Memorials. 30 of the men and boys who died at Woodpit were interred in the graveyard of St. James the Great Anglican Church, Haydock, where a memorial was subsequently erected. A second memorial was erected closer to the site of the disaster in 2009.